My belief is this. This is just a belief. I can't prove it. There's no evidence for it. My belief is the raw physical energy in the body, that raw energy, feeds the visual imagery and the internal dialogue. And the visual imagery and the internal dialogue, in turn, give form and structure to the physical feeling in the body. So the bottom line is this. This is just easier to work with. Working with a raw feeling sensation. If you work with this, if you work with the visual imagery and the dialogue, this is the story part. This could suck you back into the story. Oh, they don't like me, I'm going to fail. It's easy to get sucked into this. Because when thoughts grab hold of us, they really grab hold of us. But what are you not thinking right now? So these are the elements. Accurate awareness and complete permission. Now, you are, look here, you're allowed to relax around the feeling. I don't want you relaxing the feeling. Why? Because that's trying to change it. But I want to make sure you're not tensing around it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're feeling like something pulling in here and squeezing your gut, I don't want you to try to relax that, but I would like you to relax everything around it as far as possible. Because I don't want you adding to it. Does that make sense? You follow? Are you following me? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pour all our awareness and all our permission into the physical sensation in the body. I'll troubleshoot this in a minute because I know what some people are thinking. Bear with me just a second. We pour all our attention into it, and every 10 seconds, out loud, we're either going to say same or changing, depending on whether it's the same or whether it's changing. Now, there's some way. What are the ways in which feelings could change? When your anxiety was changing, how was it changing? What was going on?
A sense of peace going down.
It was what?
Going down.
It was moving downwards?
Yeah.
Okay. Feelings can change in a lot of ways. You may find it expands. You may find it contracts.
Yeah, it was like more of expansion.
It was expanding, okay? It could contract. You may find that the feeling changes location. It can move deeper in. It can spread outward. There's a lot of ways in which subjective physical sensation can change and shift. Yes? Does that make sense? Every 10 seconds. Now listen to me. This is really important. You're not trying to make it change. The point is just to observe and to report out loud whether it's the same or changing. If it's same, that's okay. There's a way to work with that too. Do you understand? You're going to do this for like three minutes apiece. Then you're going to switch, right? So one person's going to be the actor. The other person's going to be the observer. The observer is going to give instructions. And the instructions are, I want you to tune into that feeling, and every 10 seconds just tell me same or changing. If there's visual imagery or internal dialogue, gently ignore it and keep putting your attention back on the raw feeling. And every 10 seconds just say to me same or changing, right? And when you say it, listen, make it matter-of-factly. It's not same, changing, changing. Matter-of-factly, same, changing, same. You get it? This is beginning to teach you the skill of equanimity. Now, the other operative question is, when do we practice this? I want you to practice this alone at first. Build the muscle, and then when you're out in the field and you start feeling something, you can begin to automatically tune into it. Obviously, you're not going to say same, changing, but you can do it in your head. Do you get it? Do we understand the instructions? Yes? I need verbal feedback, yes or no? I'm still going. And so close to 11. I've been teaching all night, really haven't taken a break. You guys are embarrassing me. You get it?
Yes.
Now, some troubleshooting. Some people don't feel any feelings in their body. Some people are just numb. Any numbers here? It's okay. Numb. Okay. I would like to make a bargain with you. It's almost 11 o'clock. We are doing this exercise, but I would really like to do some work with him right now. Would that be okay with you? If I did some work with him? I promise we'll resume this tomorrow. Go ahead, have a seat. Come up here. Do you mind being on camera?
Nope.
Okay. Now, this guy I met at a family dinner. He's a friend of my lovely nephew who's 21 years old. Happy birthday, Gideon.
We'll see him in an hour.
My pimp nephews will be coming here. this weekend, yeah?
I'll get them, dragging them there.
They're great. How do you know Gid?
Through a mutual DJ friend.
Okay, so I met this guy at Shabbat dinner, and I immediately tuned into what he was doing. Was I accurate?
You were very accurate.
Stunningly accurate?
Yes.
What did you think when you left that night?
Just going, he's got something.
Yeah. Okay, so you're telling me
Walk
that...
the walk.
Okay, you're telling me that you're numb, right? You don't feel body feelings?
I don't think so, no.
That's very interesting. You hear what he just said? Oh, you hear what he just said? He said, I don't think so. Now that's accurate. He doesn't think his body feels. That's right, you don't.
Yeah, I'm a head guy.
Really? Are you? How do you know when it's time to eat?
Well, there we go. I'm hungry.
Okay, you're hungry. So you do get those,
I
right?
do get hungry.
Okay, all right. We get hunger pain. You ever get pissed off in traffic?
I can get pissed off with being traffic.
Okay, so you feel things then, right?
Sure. Could be a head thing though, right?
What?
It's rage. Don't feel my body.
How do you know it's rage?
Well, whatever it is. I kicked the car the other day.
Huh?
I kicked the car the other day.
You kicked a car?
Yeah.
Hmm. And
The
so,
rage just came out. I just kicked it.
oh, you want to know something interesting? Stand up for me a minute.
Sure.
Oh, you get different responses of people when they're standing, when they're sitting. Very interesting. He just told me something really interesting. What did he say? He didn't say, I kicked a car the other day. He didn't say, I kicked a car the other day. He said, I kicked a car the other day, presupposing that on all other days he doesn't kick cars, which tells me that there's a mechanism in him where, how does he know when he actually is going to kick the car? When the feeling builds up to a certain point, that's when he starts kicking. So it tells me there is a mechanism in him that can calibrate if the feeling is building to the point where he's going to take the action. His unconscious mind gave me a huge clue by saying, I kicked the car the other day. The unspoken part of that is, but I don't usually kick cars, which tells me his unconscious gives me the report that it's saying, hey, Ross, listen to me, forget what this turd is saying, excuse me. I do know how to feel things, and in fact, the other day I gave him an example of feeling to the point where it drove him to a behavior. You understand?
Yeah, you bet.
So, there have been times when you felt like kicking the cars, but you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the difference in how the feeling built yesterday to the point where you actually went and did the kick?
It just came out, but I tell you, it had too much caffeine. Probably was just.
Actually, what did he show me? Did you see what he did? So there's a shaking aspect to his, when the feeling begins to shake, when he begins to shake with the feeling, it so deranges his sense of being in control that the control shuts down and then he takes the action. So there has to be a sense of shaking. The system, am I correct?
Probably, yeah.
The system has to shake. You understand? So as long as he's not shaking, he's not going to take the action. Oh, interesting. So now we know he went from saying, I don't feel things, to being, actually, his unconscious mind told me, oh yeah, he does. Are people, is this unusual? Is it an exception to the rule that he's giving me unconscious information about how he does things? No, people do this all the time anyway. The only difference between me and you is not that I can elicit it, I only can with him. It's that I know how to pay attention to it and catch it. And this is the key of dealing with women. Women are, when you get a woman talking in the right way and lead her in the right way, she will give you a gold mine of what you need to seduce the crap out of her. She will give you everything you need if you know what to pay attention to. By the way, I'm paying attention to him. Look how he's standing, like he's ready. Like, relax. When you fall asleep at night, what are you thinking just before you fall asleep? The moment before you slip into unconsciousness, what is your thinking?
Relax.
You think to yourself, relax? You say
I don't
that
know.
word?
I'm asleep. I don't know what I'm saying.
No.
I don't have.
Ooh, did you hear that presupposition? I'm asleep, I don't know what I'm saying. I didn't say that it has to be something he's saying to himself. He presupposed it was dialogue, which tells me something else about the rigidity of how he's moving through the world, which is dialogue, 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 dialogue. You know what would induce a profound fucking trance in him? If I took away his ability to have internal dialogue. If I shut it off. What if you couldn't talk to yourself in the inside of your head? By the way, have you ever thought about this? You ever been talking to yourself in the inside of your head? You ever ask yourself, what is the aspect or quality of mind that gives the illusion that there's sound when nothing is actually being said? Think about that for a minute. Sit down in that chair all the way down in that chair. And I want you to ask yourself the question, what is the quality of mind, what is the process going on whereby when I talk to myself, I have the illusion of hearing sound when nothing is actually being said? I want you to ponder that question right now inside your head while I talk to the rest of the room. I want you to think about what is the quality of mind going on that allows me to have the illusion that there's sound when I'm not actually saying anything. How do you talk to yourself on the inside of your head when your lips aren't moving and no sound is coming out? What is the phenomena by which we have the internal experience of sound in here? I want you to think about that while I talk to people. Now, I'm doing some wicked things with him, probably that you're not seeing, but I'm seeing it. I'm congratulating myself on it. But you see, when people come to me and report a problem, I know it can't be the problem that they're reporting. It's never what they think it is, ever. If they could see what it is, they wouldn't have the problem. They'd just step out of it. I don't care what you're saying to yourself in your head, but I want you to keep pondering in your head, how is it possible that I hear myself talking when there's no sound being made? What is going on in your consciousness? What is the aspect of your consciousness that hears sound when you're not actually saying anything? And can you open yourself a little bit more to that part of your mind? Not the part that makes the dialogue, but the part that hears it in your head. See, there's a part in your mind that makes the dialogue that you're very used to doing, but what about the part in your head that hears it? Have you ever made friends with that?
Doubt it.
This should all go on inside your head. You don't have to answer me verbally. Well, that was a verbal answer. But as you're thinking to talk to yourself inside your head, I want you to ask yourself, okay, I'm very familiar with how to talk to myself in my head, but the part of my mind that's hearing it, what is that part? Who am I when I'm only the part that hears what I'm saying inside? Who am I when I'm only the part that's hearing what I'm saying inside? I know who I am when I'm the part who's saying it, but who am I when I'm hearing what it is I'm saying inside? Who is the part that's hearing the dialogue that I'm saying? What would it be like to feel yourself kind of sinking back into that part of your mind, the part that hears the internal dialogue, in such a way that your voice begins to say my words, as if my words were your internal voice. So all you have to be is the part that hears it, and get a little bit more quiet inside, just like that. Now, I also know there's a part of you that feels raw feelings, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to kick that car. There's a part of you that feels feelings, or you wouldn't have been able to kick the car, correct?
Absolutely.
So it's not that you don't feel things in your body, it's that the dialogue is going on so quick and so much, it's taking up all the processing power. You see, there's only so much real estate in consciousness. And if all that real estate is being taken up by talk, 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 your consciousness keeps the feeling out of conscious awareness. It's not that it's not there.
True.
Does that make sense?
This makes sense.
Oh, it looks like I really understand, don't I? I want you, as you're going to sleep tonight, I have an assignment for you. One assignment only. I want you to lay there and ask yourself, what is the quality of mind that has the perception of sound even though not a word is actually being spoken? I want you to focus all your attention on finding that quality of your mind that hears sound in your mind even though not a word is actually being spoken. Would you do that? That's your assignment, to begin to touch that. And there's something else. You want to know how to, would you like to be able to quiet your internal dialogue just a little bit?
Please.
Would you guys like to know how to do that?
Yes.
So let me tell you a story about my cat. No, I already told that story. So one time I was walking down the street in Stockholm, right?
Okay.
No, never mind. You want to hear a Stockholm story? People always, you know, I've always said when people tell me, oh, in my country it won't work, I've always said bullshit. But in fact, it works everywhere, but there are some cultural differences. Like if you go to Sweden and you go to Stockholm, and I'm friendly, I talk to everyone, hey, how are you? So what's your name? This is the Swedes. Like, don't look at that person, right? Someone said, yeah, who said that?
I live in Sweden.
You lived in Sweden? For how long?
7 months.
Did you try talking to strangers in Stockholm? What was their response?
Their eyes are shifting all over the place.
Like, don't look at him. Don't look at another human being. God forbid you should give warmth to a stranger. Something might happen. I mean, he might melt. I don't know. But once you get them behind closed doors, they're incredibly friendly, genial, warm, loving people, but not on the street. So the thing is also, here's how you turn off internal dialogue. Watch this. You guys want to know something? it's almost impossible to do internal dialogue without doing some sub-vocalization. When you do internal dialogue, there's always very slight micro movement of the lips and the throat to match your internal dialogue. So here's what I want you to do. As you're having internal dialogue, I want you to relax your mouth and consciously focus on allowing no movement or no energy to go into your mouth. Keep your tongue and your mouth completely relaxed and motionless in your throat too, and try to have internal dialogue when there's no subvocalization, no movements, no tiny micro movements of the tongue or the lips or the throat. And tell me what happens.
It's quieter.
Huh?
It's quieter.
Isn't that fucking weird?
Yeah, it is weird. That's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool, isn't it? Isn't that cool? If you just relax all that, your internal dialogue goes whoop, and then what goes on? Watch this. Do it again. Take your internal dialogue, relax your lips and your tongue, and breathe deeply from your belly. And what happens to your muscles and your sense of peace and well-being in the world? Huh?
I'm much more relaxed.
Much more relaxed.
I'm not talking.
That's really weird, isn't it?
It's great.
How long did that take? How long did that take?
3 minutes.
Huh? Actually, a lot quicker than 3 minutes. Once I got him to do it, now all you have to do is practice that. See? Well, here's the other thing. When you free up that real estate in consciousness, because you no longer have an internal dialogue, what does it set free to begin to come out into the stage? I want to give you the metaphor of an internal stage. Like you can, when you do play production in high school or whatever, you can take on different roles and come out and play on stage. When you clear off the stage of consciousness from all this dialogue, then something else can come out to play. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and it can do it in a way where you realize that there's no danger. There's no danger. Because the people who invalidated you and required you to constantly checking to say, am I okay, am I okay, am I okay, they're not around. I don't see them. They're not under there, they're not there. You see? They're not around. And every time you calm down and relax and quiet your mind and connect with people, that's another kick you're giving those people right in their fucking face. You see? People build walls in a lot of different ways. People don't just build walls by pushing other people away. People can build walls by totally taking over their consciousness with something that gets in their own way. Hello, I love the camera. Now I want you to just think about that. Does that make sense?
Once again,
Huh? Now there's feeling. Stop. He got a little bit right there. Did you feel a little bit of there? That little bit of... For a microsecond he did.
Well,
Did you see it?
microsecond, I didn't-
Did you see him
not
shift into
conscious of
being
it.
touched? For a brief second, did you see him shift into being touched just for a second? I caught it. Am I hallucinating or did you see it?
No.
For a second,
What did you catch? I didn't catch
you were touched. What? Yes.
It almost looked like he was looking for a feeling. Like he was kind of.
No, he found it. He didn't do this here. That's okay. Never mind. You're getting it unconsciously. Does that feel good when you laugh and smile? Oh, now he didn't know. He's got to go back into thinking about it.
I gotta think about it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Go have a seat. He's a good